Welcome to this video about what I wish I knew before gynae surgery, and it's my honest experience of what I've faced. So today I want to share something really personal, and if you're facing gynecological surgery or supporting someone who is, then this video is for you. And if you're in recovery, then please listen because you might find something really useful. So I've had my fair share of surgical experiences, and there are definitely a few things I wish I had known beforehand, things no one really talks about. So let's dive in. So firstly, I just wanted to let you know that I am drinking Adaptogenic coffee. So if you've never heard of it, check out my previous video to discover the benefits for women's health and wellness. And if you listen right to the end, you get access to a 20% discount code. So before I start sharing my advice, I just wanted to share that I've had many investigatory surgeries as an endometriosis sufferer. I've had an endometrial ablation and finally an oophorectomy. So if you don't know what that is, I didn't before I was told I needed one. It's the removal of the ovaries and the fallopian tubes. So it's not a full hysterectomy, you're not taking away the whole root of the womb. It's just the ovaries and the fallopian tubes. I say just because it's actually quite complicated when you've had endometriosis. So let's dive in. Here's my 3 takeaways from all 3 experiences. So number 1, how emotionally unprepared you might feel. So we're often told about the physical side effects, but not necessarily the emotional aftermath. So for me, grief was a really big part of it. Even though I've never had children, I'd gone through infertility, I'd gone through IVF, that grief of losing part of your womanhood, as it were, became quite overwhelming. Your identity shifts, and you do have unexpected feelings around your fertility, around your body image, around womanhood. So I just want you to be aware of that is normal, and there's things that we can do to support that through mental health support. Now, even though we're looking at the physical side effects, we aren't actually always ready for that mental health support. So that's one of the things that I wish I had really been tuned into. So maybe just connecting with someone who gets you, maybe someone who you know has been through it before. My final surgery was during lockdown, so I had no access to all the things that would have helped me heal better. So lockdown, I'm referring to COVID lockdown in 2021. So I didn't have friends, I didn't have family, I didn't have the ability to indulge in reflexology and Reiki treatments. So all of the things that I would usually tap into to help my body, to help me heal, were no longer there. So what about number 2, the long recovery and how non-linear healing can be? So it's not just 6 weeks. Believe me, it's not just 6 weeks. There's scar tissue, fatigue, hormonal chaos, and the sneaky setbacks months later. So we're all different. Consider how the scar is healing, how different things can help you. So massage, I mentioned earlier about how I couldn't have reflexology and Reiki, both very natural relaxation treatments that aren't going to affect your womb area, the area that's been, kind of through the mill, as it were. And rest. Remember, one of the things that you must remember is if you're going for a walk, which we're told to do, yep, that's brilliant. You should be going for a walk as soon as you can, but don't go too far because you have to come back. And that was one of the things that I made a really big mistake in, thinking that a quick walk to the local field in the village literally would take me less than 10 minutes. But coming back was a slight incline from that field, and it was that incline, even though I'd never noticed it before surgery when I was okay, that slight incline just really affected me. So just take your time and just enjoy it. You've been through a lot, your body's been through a lot. And the other thing is gentle movement like yoga. Obviously, I'm going to say that. I'm a yoga therapist. And it is key for movement as we're getting older. Even if you're in your 20s or your 30s and you've never done yoga before, then urge you to get on the mat. My ego got in the way 100%. I was asking myself, I can't believe I can no longer touch my toes. I'd spent years trying to touch my toes and then I could. And for me, that was like the goal. Now I couldn't. My belly was so restrictive. I used to love doing forward folds and coming in and out of postures. But now all of a sudden, that was becoming really restrictive because of the pain in my belly. So one of the things that I just wanted to touch on with you as well is that after my surgery, my initial surgery, I contracted sepsis and necrotizing fasciitis. So Google it. That basically translates as flesh-eating disease. It is as gross as it sounds. So my journey was a lot longer. We're actually talking years in recovery. So not wanting to scare you, not wanting to put you off any medical treatment at all that you need. However, you do need to be mindful that this can happen. You can get infections. Yes, they probably told me that during my consultation, but we all think, well, it'll not happen to me. And unfortunately, it did happen to me. So now we're going to get on to how little support there is post-op. And obviously mine was heightened because it was COVID lockdown. But I've spoken to many women, and once the surgery is over, many women do feel dropped by the system, and you know it's a bit of a shame really, because like I say, we are all different and we do have questions that specific to you, specific to your body. They might send you home with a little sheet that gives you FAQs, but sometimes that just isn't enough. And for a while when I was discharged from hospital, everything was a bit of a blur. Like even just, getting out of bed, having a shower, getting dressed, things like I couldn't hold up the hairdryer, for example. So trying to blow dry my hair was just impossible. All those little things that you don't realize, like for example, I wanted to heat up some soup one day, but the pan was in the bottom cupboard and I couldn't bend down that far just to get the pan out of the cupboard. So there's a lot of different things that you need to be mindful of um, after you've had the operation. And one of the things that I turned to really help me to heal was through music. So gentle, relaxing vibes. I'm quite into music with a lot of piano in. And this really helped me to connect with my body. It was difficult for me to move much. So even meditation for me was tricky, even though I would find solace in meditation. I couldn't sit cross-legged. I couldn't lie down flat on my back in Shavasana. It was absolutely excruciating. And so I would just sit how I could comfortably, however that was, and listen to music. Sometimes I would have it within the room that I was in, covering. sometimes it was nice to have it in ear pods or headphones, just to really tune out and allow yourself to really connect with the beat and the sort of the tune and the essence. And one of the other things that I did was I joined a group online for people who had suffered from sepsis. So obviously my surgery had kind of done a flip, and I just couldn't connect with the fact that I was alive. I was alive. I hadn't lost any limbs. And there is such a thing as survivor syndrome, survivor guilt syndrome. And just meeting people, talking about that online really, really did help me. So, one takeaway that I want you to consider, so if you're waiting for surgery or you're in recovery, I just wish someone had told me this. It's okay to not bounce back quickly. Healing isn't linear, it's cyclical, just like us. I know it's hard. I know you want to get back to doing what you did before, but let your body rest and let your mind heal. So remember, you're not alone on this path. Trust your body, ask all the questions, and honour your healing physically and emotionally. And if you ever need a gentle space to feel seen, you know where to find me. And if you want to support me to share more stories and be sharing more of this with you, you can buy me an adaptogenic coffee. The link's in my bio. And come and join my mailing list for doses of wisdom and womb friendly care. So sending love always, and till next time.